segment of Keep the Beat with Pete. Today, wanted to focus on Get the Funk On. I just did a little release of a clip I did a while ago on Kid Charlemagne, and I did a short, I released a short one, but the full video is also on the channel. And in the future, I'll be releasing some other funk fusion type things, and I just thought we'd take a few minutes today to go over this. So let's get right to it. I was just playing a bunch of 16th note combinations, and I did a video or two a while ago, and there's actually many parts to this funk thing, because it's just as complicated as any jazz stuff, so that's a fact. But I thought one of the ways to do this is to get at the vocabulary. We won't get much into ghost notes, we won't get much into opening and closing the hi-hat. Those are all items to focus on. We'll just get into some of the vocabulary. What's a way to really expand your vocabulary? This was in that video a while ago. It's time to revisit it. You take stick control, 5, 6, and 7. 72 lines. Can you use them all? You probably use most of them. Can you invert them? Can you cut them in half? Yes. So just take the first few, and they're in eighth notes. You can play them in eighth notes between the hi-hat and the snare drum. So step one would be just play them as eighth notes. You can put your bass drum on 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just part of the exercise. Later on you'll realize that, okay, you're really not doing that. But as part of the exercise you would have, and I'm just at 100 on the metronome here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 1. Now line 2 is left, right. And so on, okay? Some of them have like 3 beats in a row, like 1. Okay, so that's just between the hands. Then, stick control again. Every right is a bass drum, every left is the hi-hat, the snare drum. This time you'll just keep a steady cymbal pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all in eighth notes. Now you would do the same thing with 16th notes. Just very quickly, like between the hands. Okay, then you can go eighth notes, 16th notes. You could do the bass drum combined with the snare drum and kind of a steady hi-hat pulse. You could do the hands all on the top with the bass drum being softer. And then the last step is you can start trading off and putting some hi-hat beats where the bass drum used to be. step. I had it at 100. You could even start at 80, 90, 100, so forth and so on. Put all that together. Then what's the next and last step? You don't have to start every single measure like one, just exactly one. One. So now you're displacing and displacing and displacing by moving it where you start the phrase through different parts of the measure. And then you always come back to your anchor beats that we covered in another video, just basic funk beats, like we did 5 anchor beats, and you go back and watch that. I'll probably put a link below here in this particular segment to those other ones, okay? But there are some anchor beats which we all know, we all play. I mean, one of the first beats you'll play probably when you get on the drum set. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that. Get back to your anchor beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you blend it with this stick control kind of method or system that I'm talking about. And you can create a zillion and one patterns. Ghost notes, opening and closing the hi-hat to get the right thing. Separate segments that have to be covered separately. You know, getting the hi-hat the right way, hitting those ghost notes just right, and then hitting your rim shots and that's not in this segment. This is like, how do you get a lot of ideas and lines to play things like that happen in some super advanced funk fusion, or just some really compelling funk grooves, and to have a whole bunch of things you can break out at the time, you know, at the time you need it. And the last thing I would say on this is you will experiment with the empirical method. Once you try out all these different lines and all these different combinations in the mixing and matching, 8th notes, 16th notes, 8th notes on the hi-hat, maybe quarter notes on the hi-hat, okay? You're going to start picking out favorites, and you're going to start picking out those that you really can work. And then of course you can use the bell later on too. Doesn't mean they have to stay here, okay? So do stick control, reviewing, stick control. You're going to have it as 8th notes as written. You're going to just go between your hands. The bass drum could be on 1, 2, 3, 4, just if you want 1 and 3. 1 and 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, bop, 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 bop. Right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and paradiddles and so forth. Do the same thing now, 16th notes. Then the second phase is every right that's written in stick control, page 5, 6, and 7 becomes a bass drum. Every left becomes a snare drum. You can keep a pretty steady pattern over here. And so then you can mix and match those two systems, the hands on the top side and then the interaction with the bass drum. Then you can start the measures staggered, right, as we said. And you go in and out, up and down, and mix and match these things as you need be, okay? That's going to give you an extensive vocabulary and a very quick way of getting it. Because the lines in stick control are mere permutations of what your hands might do. He has, you know, singles, doubles, paradiddles in a few different forms, extended paradiddles, 3 with one hand and then 3 with the other hand, and then 4, 4, 4. 4 is about the hardest, you know, the most involved ones. You may or may not use that at some times. You might. It's easy to memorize is what I'm saying. You can take it with you for a lifetime and use it in a lot of ways. For those of you that are new subscribers, welcome aboard. Give me your comments and questions on this, your reactions to trying it out. Share it with everybody else. I'd like to get more of that going this year, and then tell me how you might use this by using the belt instead, and or using other parts of the set eventually. And for those of you who've been with me for a while, thanks for watching. Remember, this is all about trying to help you develop practice methods to build your creativity, to help you keep, create the beat you keep. Thanks again for watching. Peace out.